welcome back. I'm so glad that you joined me for another edition of the You Can with Suzanne show. That's me. I am Suzanne. Sue can, because if Sue can, you can too. Woohoo! It's so hard for me to sit still during that intro. Actually, I never do. I'm always kind of... I'll never get sick of it. I will never get sick of it. It's just so much fun. That's what this show is about. And you know what? I want to thank you for your super mega awesome feedback. I love you. There was a holistic health expo over the weekend that I participated in with my son, who was 13. He's got a little business called Dream Shroom. I was so proud of him. And a whole bunch of you guys were talking about the TV show and letting me know how much you enjoyed it. And, well, gosh darn it, thank you. And I'm so happy that you are watching it. And the list of guests is never ending. And we always have fun, high quality, wonderful people here sharing what they do in this fantastic community. And guess what? I heard that the mayor of Buffalo is in a meeting next door. Yeah, so if I catch him walking by, I'm going to grab old Byron and see if he'll come in. All right, so just so you know. All right, so today, let's see, it is September, so all them little rugrats are back in school. So mom and dad, you got some time to yourself, right? Woo! That's awesome. Happy birthday to all you Virgos out there. And what else? So September, fall, October. All right, so what's coming up is we have some stuff going on now. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's also Domestic Violence Month, but that's not what today's about. Today's about, it is the pink. It is breast cancer awareness. And who better than to talk to us about it than somebody who is a survivor of breast cancer, and more than once too. So I will be quiet for just a moment and to introduce you to Ms Ida Goeckel. Yay!
Hi!
Insert applause here. That's you guys.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Yay. So you put on this incredible benefit with kick butt music, and it's bam pow wow, great, endless baskets,
Yep.
Lots of stuff going on. Why? What's your backstory? What brought you to this moment?
Alrighty, well, back in 2003, I was diagnosed with breast cancer of a certain type that is non-invasive. It's early stage, it's readily treatable, but of course, when you first hear words like carcinoma, it's
Scary. I bet.
it's overwhelming. It's not even scary. You just kind of like have to absorb it a little bit and digest it. So the back story to that is that I was originally supposed to go for I have a history of breast cancer in my family on my mother's side, and so I was going for mammograms every year. And one year in 2003, I was supposed to go in February, and for whatever reason, I couldn't make it. And so, anybody who goes for mammograms know that it takes another 6 months to get an appointment. So I didn't get to go until July of that year. And in July of that year is when they discovered that I had breast cancer, or I had an abnormal mammogram, and then they biopsied it and found I had breast cancer. So the serendipitous kind of fortune that I had was, if I had gone in February when I was supposed to have gone, I would have never, I probably would not have found it because it wasn't developed enough.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? And so by the time I got there in July, they found a 5 centimeter mass.
5 centimeters.
5 centimeters.
That's kind of big.
Yeah,
So
that's like the largest that it can get without it really being like a major concern.
Oh my goodness.
And at that point too, the type of breast cancer, or the location of the breast cancer that I had was in the chest wall cavity. So I would have never even been able to find it, doing self-examinations, which you should do. I had the mass removed. That's called a lumpectomy, when you have just the mass removed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was recommended I was originally recommended by the original breast surgeon to get a mastectomy anyway, because he felt that it was a preventative measure.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not agree with that. So I decided to go get a second opinion, and I went to Roswell. And Roswell said, well, let's mammograph your breast again and see what happened after the lumpectomy. And they found that I was virtually cancer-free.
Mm-hmm.
And so they said, what we want you to do is some radiation to prevent another occurrence, or to reduce the chances of another occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there was this whole delay of time. There was a month between the time that the breast surgeon suggested the mastectomy and the time that I went to Roswell and got the appointment and found out that I only needed to do radiation. And during that time, I spent a lot of time reading and absorbing all the information that I could, so that I could make an informed choice about my treatment plan and everything. I even went to a reconstructive surgeon to get the lowdown on what that was all about.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that I was going to go to Roswell for a second opinion, but that if they told me the same thing, that, I don't know, maybe because I'm vain, I was going to duke it out with the Grim Reaper and not get a mastectomy anyway, because I didn't want to do that.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to preserve my girls. So once I agreed to do the radiation, it's very easy to get caught up in this kind of self-pity kind of thing. Even if you know that the prognosis is good, the whole cancer thing just is very overwhelming. So during that time, I was reading Bass Player magazine, to which both me and someone else that I lived with had a subscription, and in the front of there they featured different things, and the front of the article was about a girl named Janelle Ramirez in Austin, Texas, who had this thing called Bass Babes Battling Breast Cancer. Say that 5
That's
times.
a mouthful, yeah.
Okay. And I thought, what a cool idea. And she was connected to some radio station down there. So I contacted her, and I said, I want to be part of something like this, because, it would keep me occupied, and I want to give back, because I feel like Roswell gave me a second opportunity and a second chance for a different route of treatment
Mm-hmm.
than what was originally being recommended. So I called her up, and she was like, well, we're already in the throes of doing this, and we do it in 2 cities. We do it in Austin and Dallas. I said, well, we should take this nationwide. We need to make this happen in every city. And she goes, well, maybe we could do something next year. And I was like, I don't want to wait. So in a 2-week period, I threw together the first female musicians fighting breast cancer benefit.
Wow.
And it was my goal to not only raise funds for Roswell, and I'll go into detail about that, but it was also my goal to kind of highlight female musicians who I felt were still not getting their propers in the local music community. And so it was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And the first one was at Nietzsche's, and now we're on our 15th year.
Oh my gosh.
And
wow. Wow, 15 years. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you, did the radiation take care of the problem?
Well, the radiation was a preventative measure that they, even after the lumpectomy and after the, after that surgery, and I was cancer-free and everything, the radiation is what helps to reduce the chances of a recurrence.
Mm-hmm. And did it take, did that?
Yeah, I mean, in that breast, I was cancer and have been cancer-free since 2003.
Wow, well, that's wonderful.
In 2012, however.
Yeah, I just remembered something I read on your Facebook page, yep.
Yeah. In 2012, after 9 years of being cancer-free, I was diagnosed again, and that was also yet another coinky-dink that they found that what had happened was I had an abnormal mammogram on this side. The first one was on this side, the second one. And
so that they match, right?
right. And when I went to go have the biopsy, they do what's called a stereotactic biopsy, which is where you lay on your stomach and they take a little needle and your breast is in a hole facing downward, so that they can put a needle in there and do the biopsy.
Mm-hmm.
But by that time, disclosure time, by that time I'd already gotten implants, because the first time that I had my breast surgery, where the scar was indenting, and I wasn't happy with that, and so I had implants, and the radiology tech and the radiologist who were working on me to do this second biopsy couldn't figure out how to get around the implants, or I'm not exactly sure what happened. So they did it a different way, where I was laying backwards, like in a dental chair, and they were doing it like that, and he accidentally punctured my implant.
Oops.
Because I noticed the next day that I was kind of uneven and leaking like a waterbed.
Oh my gosh.
So I called them up, and plus I was still waiting for the results of the biopsy. And when they gave me the results of the biopsy, they said, we didn't find cancer, but we found this fibroadenoma, which is benign. It's just like a mass, okay? What do you want to do about that? And I said, well, I don't want any foreign bodies in my breast that will potentially turn into something. So let's schedule that. Let's get that benign fibroadenoma out. And while we're at it, let's repair the leak, you know? And so they went to go do that, and when they went in to take out the fibroadenoma, they discovered that it was surrounded by the same kind of cancer that I had before, only
my gosh.
in this breast.
Wow. So here you are thinking, oh, okay, it's not so bad, and then wait a minute, what? Put on the brakes. Oh, how terrible.
So then they did that surgery, and then they had to wait, and then they went in and did what's called a resection, where they clear the margins to make sure that everything is out. And at that point is when they repaired the leak and everything. So, and that one was not, that was more in the breast tissue, you know.
And that was 2013?
2012.
12. So you've been cancer-free since?
Yep, 5 years out. 5 years is usually the marker where they say that you're good to go. Now, because I had breast cancer twice before the age of 55, then they said, you should probably get genetically tested, you know, see if you carry the BRCA1 or the BRCA2 mutation, which is like what Angelina Jolie had, where it's a mutation that is hereditary and it causes people to have breast cancer almost definitely, and a lot of times in younger women, you know, like in their 30s and 40s and so forth. So I went and I got genetically tested, and I found out that I was BRCA1 positive.
Oh my gosh.
So when they found that out, being BRCA1 positive, if you followed Angelina Jolie's story, not only meant that I had a greater chance of developing breast cancer again, but also ovarian cancer, that there's a link between breast cancer and ovarian cancer. And so they said, you should really consider getting your ovaries out, because there really is no screening for ovarian cancer. They can do ultrasounds and they can do blood work, but there really is no good screening for ovarian cancer. But I refused, just like I refused to have the mastectomy. I said, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not taking out perfectly healthy ovaries. Just, you know, it's like if I don't need my appendix out, don't take it out.
Leave it alone.
You know. But after about, so I went in 2013. So after going every 6 months for ultrasounds, which were a pain, not in the behind, but they were a pain somewhere.
Yeah.
That it got to be like a real hassle, and I said, you know what? I don't really need those parts anyway, so I went in 2016. I had a full hysterectomy and had everything removed so that I wouldn't have to worry about uterine cancer, which is also a risk, ovarian cancer, or cervical cancer, none of that. I am no longer worrying about that. Yet, even though I did that, they still, every time I go for my mammogram or my ultrasound, a breast ultrasound, they recommend a mastectomy as an option, because, and I have read up, what I know is that after I have received radiation on both breasts, and I've had 2 primary breast cancers, that the studies show that a 3rd primary breast cancer is probably inconclusive. There's no, I feel like, this is what I tell people. I tell people I'm evenly toasted. and I just don't see that having gone through radiation twice, 7 weeks each time, every day,
Wow.
5 days, 5 days a week, 7 weeks, that really I couldn't possibly begin, and even though breast density is also a factor in breast cancer, which is a problem for me, I guess, I still feel like I'm fairly safe. You know, they offer me the option every year, and every year I say, no, I'm okay right now. You know, so I'm putting a lot of money into these things. No, but no, I don't really feel that I'm at risk. The type of breast cancer that I had was called ductal carcinoma in situ, which means that it doesn't spread. It's contained and in one spot. And they removed the masses, they cleared the margins, everything's good to go. So the cool thing about Roswell, which is why I want to talk about the benefit a little bit, the cool thing about Roswell is that every doctor I've ever had there has treated me like an intelligent equal. They've never treated me like a child. They've never treated me like they knew better than I did, or that I wasn't empowered to make my own choices. All they can do is provide you with the options and tell you what your treatment options are. But not only do they do that, but there's the reason for the benefit is because I raise monies for the Western New York Breast Resource Center, which is on the campus of Roswell Park. And it's like a resource center for patients and their networks to go to read up on whatever cancer, you know, whatever breast cancer they have, whether it be invasive breast cancer or not. There's prosthetics there, like things that you can put in your bra or wounds if you're going through chemotherapy, because depending on the type of cancer and the severity, you know, your treatment options are different, obviously. I never had chemo. I've only ever had radiation. There was never a reason for me to have chemo. So this resource center is such a valuable resource. It's redundant, but it is a really valuable asset in that it empowers the patient to become informed and have an active role in their treatment and rather being passive. And so
yeah, that's pretty awesome, because I think that's a big thing when you go to any physician's office or a medical facility and something's abnormal, something's not the normal thing, and then you get all freaked out, and then they start talking over you in all these medical terms, and you don't know what the heck you don't understand, and they just answer your questions with more big old words.
Right.
And so here, it's not like that.
No. And I've always liked everyone I've ever dealt with, in terms of the breast clinic, in terms of the radiology staff, you know, the GYN people that I dealt with there too. So here's a new bit of information. When I first started this benefit, the resource center was called the Western New York Breast Cancer Resource Center.
Okay.
Then it changed its name to the Western New York Breast Resource Center. And they took out the word.
Oh.
Okay. Now, as of this year, it is the Western New York Breast and GYN Resource Center.
Aha, because they are tied together.
Correct. And they're in the new, there's a new building that they built adjacent to the main building at Roswell, right on the corner of like Carrollton and Michigan. And that's where
it is a whole campus, that place. It is
right.
huge.
But they now have a new building, and that houses all the GYN and breast related clinics and so forth.
So we have basket raffles and all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And this year, it is at the Sportsman Tavern.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. This will be my third year at the Sportsman's. We've had it at various different clubs. Most of them are no longer open.
That's the Buffalo music scene. Things are always changing.
But I'm very grateful that the one year, the one venue, the first year I did at the Sportsman's, which would have been 2015, I was supposed to have it at another venue, and that venue went belly up. And I called the Sportsman's, and they were happy to accommodate me. And I really, it's a great venue. It's become quite the iconic music venue.
Oh, it sure is.
Dwayne Hall and his family, and Kenny Berenger, who does all the booking. And so here's another bit of good fortune. I gotta tell you this is so funny. So the first year I booked it at the Sportsman's in 2015, was this, I always have it on a Sunday so that the musicians who play are not being taken away from a potential money-making gig.
That's very considerate.
You know, so, and they don't...
You are a bassist. We never mentioned that.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I'm a musician too, but, you know, and I've played my benefit a couple of times, but I try not to make that a habit, because I don't want people to think that I use it as a platform to promote myself. You know what I mean? So it's not about me. So the first year I had it there, the Bills were playing, it's Sunday, it's football, right? And it's October. The Bills, that was the day that the Bills were playing that 9:30 in the morning game in England. And so I didn't have to worry about a conflict. Last year, it was an away game, so people, they kind of pay attention, but they don't really pay attention. This year, every year I have to book my date like a year in advance. I know, and I'm kind of doing it blindly. This year I booked my date blindly on October 15th, and it turns out it's a bye week.
Yes. All right, so no excuses.
No excuses.
So Sunday, October 15th.
Yep.
Sportsman's Tavern, which is at 326 Amherst Street in Buffalo.
Yep.
It is a super mega awesome venue. Very cool. The stage is down in the center, and it has, what would you call it, like balcony surroundings, and
yeah,
it's
has
super cool.
Yeah, they've remodeled there, and they have 2 floors, and there's a balcony mezzanine kind of area with another bar, and upstairs will be where all the raffle baskets are, and if you are interested in donating a basket or a service or a gift certificate, you can find us on our website, which hopefully will go across the screen, but it's www.fmfbc.com.
And that stands for Female Musicians Fighting Breast Cancer. That's where the initials come from. So FMFBC.
Correct. .com. Yep.
All right, so you can find out information there. You can get tickets there, maybe? Or just at the door?
You can buy tickets at the door, but Sportsman's always has pre-sale tickets.
Oh, great. Okay.
And then, too, there's a 50-50 split that day. There's
all kinds of stuff
all kinds
to
of
help
stuff.
raise some funds.
I'd like to promote some of the bands who are playing if
Quickly.
I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're running out of time.
Yep. Julie Kitsley is going to be accompanied by Jack Civiletto. Then I have Dirty Smile, and I also have The Shadows featuring Terry George and Patty Parts Band.
All right. Okay. Well, holy moly, macaroni and cheese. It's the end of our half an hour already. It always flies by.
I know.
But oh my gosh, you got a whole bunch of information. And Ida, thank you for sharing your story with us. It's always an honor to have a survivor here and endorse Roswell Cancer Institute right here in Buffalo, New York, number 33 out of 900 and something. So Buffalo rocks. So that's it. I will see you here next week. Thanks for joining us. Because Sue can, you can too. Bye.